Happy weekend, guys! Let's talk about two topics I saw on Tunde Ednot's page that somehow my responses trigger people. And before we get into it, let's just speak about me for a second. I could be very logical, I could be witty, I could be very playful, and on the other hand, I could be a motherfucker. I could be pinchy, I could be a bunch of things all in one. Naturally, if you ask 10 different people about me, I promise you, some will say she's an asshole, some will say she's the most lovable person, some will say she's so funny. It depends how it goes. Now, one thing you will not say about me is I get triggered. I like to analyze things in a way. And this is why I generally don't like when people put me in a box. They're like, oh, but Goldie, you shouldn't act like that, or you shouldn't say that. No, I can act exactly the way I want to act. But anyway, topic number one, because these topics are actually very cool. Number one, there was a question asked: how long after childbirth should you knack as a husband? And my response to that was, number one, the doctor will tell you 6 to 8 weeks, but anything before that is truly diabolical. For some reason, that irritated a lot of men. Oh, this is why men should have multiple women. This is why this and this is why that. See, in my opinion, this is why I tell people, when you decide to go into the union of marriage, you have to pick someone that is your best friend. Someone that you're attracted to, the way they think, the way they react, the way they laugh. You're attracted to multiple things that go beyond just the physical. See, don't get me wrong, to knack in a relationship, it is very, very important. And to seduce your partner constantly is very, very important. And this is why I tell a lot of girls, especially when you're a gorgeous girl, listen, getting the man from your beauty is one thing. Maintaining that man is another thing. You have to keep the same standards. You have to look gorgeous all the time, because what attracted him to you is what is going to keep him there with you. And apart from the physical appearance, you have to also be a little smart, have conversations, banter with your G, have discussions that make you guys happy. Now, for the men that keep saying, oh, this is why they need multiple women, listen, only every woman will not know what happens to a woman's body after having children. The only people who know what happens to a woman's body are those who have gone through pregnancy and delivery. And it's not as easy as, I know men will say, oh, this is the job of a woman. It is very, very difficult. A lot of women lose their teeth, my mother included. After she gave birth to me, she lost her whole teeth, because I ate onto her calcium. There's so much that goes on. A lot of women get cuts. Like me, for example, I got cut. So I'm sorry, you just gave birth, your body is running crazy. You have a cut right there. You can't even sit comfortably to pee. So I promise you, the last thing you're thinking about is having intimacy. And most of you don't even take into consideration that when you're pregnant, all your organs are literally shifted up, and it takes time for the body to put things back into the right places, right? Your hormones are going crazy, everything, and plus you go to postpartum. Not everyone, but majority of women go to postpartum depressions. It's not like your man is not treating you well, or things are bad, or you have a crying baby. No, sometimes your body is just going crazy. And half the time, trust me, the last thing you're thinking about is to knack. Now, I stated the only time a woman will push herself is when she's afraid that her partner would actually go outside. A woman should be focusing on healing her body, healing her mind, and not focusing on what her husband or partner is going to do because she's in waiting period. And this is why I commented to a guy that men should refocus their energy on something else. If it is financial, focus on that. In this period, talk to your wife. Make sure she's comfortable, because I promise you, it is not easy going through childbirth. If you do not marry your best friend, you're going to subdue her to rushing and probably injuring herself in the process just to please you. And that is selfish. I am sorry, that is completely selfish. And of course, this is a topic that can go deeper, because apparently some people really don't get it. There are some men that will wake up and tell their women to cook a whole pot of soup the day after they gave birth. Like, are you okay? Are you normal? So I'm sorry, this is why a lot of women in this modern day society look at the risk before they even look at partners, because they're like, wait, it's too much of a risk for me if I have to go through all this. Now, topic number two. Now, there was a lady who came and stated her standards. Remember, everyone has the right to their own standards. What works for me would not work for you. If I tell you what it takes to become me, trust me, majority of you can't handle it. And vice versa. I can look at somebody and say, oh my God, you're so successful, you're doing well in life. But if I look down deep inside, I can't do half of the things they are doing. So everybody did their day. Now, this woman's standards. Number one, she said she does not want to deal with anyone that is from the village and has a low IQ because she herself is personally elevated. Those are not her exact words, but basically that's what she said. She cannot intellectually have a conversation with someone that is not on her level, which is standard. It should not offend anyone or trigger anyone. Two, she wants a man who is physically fit. She doesn't want a man who necessarily has a six-pack, but you need to have some form of discipline. You need to be capable of doing the protection you're doing. If you're a weakling that doesn't exercise and according to her you have a mango body, then you're not doing the protection. She needs to feel safe, and that is fine. Three, which is the most logical on the list, she wants a man who pays attention to his kids. She cannot be in the same country with a guy and he doesn't see his kids in 1 month. That should be logical. That should be normal. And four, the last one for her, which a lot of men focused on, she wants a man who eats the kitty. Which I am sorry, a lot of men actually feel like they could just have intercourse and not actually take their time to relax the woman's body. This should be normal, this should be logical, but majority of men focus on exactly that part. And I said, listen, everybody has their standards, and I do not understand why they disagree, because you just have to find the person that matches your own standards, and that should be simple common sense. But no, here goes the man. You can already imagine how the conversation went. A lot of men came out saying, oh, look at this. This woman will get old and then somehow she will have to settle for, I don't even know what standards. Yo, are we in the 50s for the love of God? It's crazy that a lot of men feel like every single woman on this planet, the only job they have is to marry and the only job they have is to have children. Not everybody's going to want what you want, honey. And that is completely fine. Yes, because of the mentality we have created in the world, a lot of women at a certain point, they start feeling pressure like, oh my God, their clock is ticking out, blah, blah, blah. They won't find the right kind of person. That's just the way we have been taught. But not every woman is going to be a perfect wife, and not every woman will want to be a mother, and that is fine. You, in everyone's life, I believe that you all should have your own standards. You should have your own boundaries of what you want and what you don't want. Another man said if this was reversed and a man said this, then everybody would criticize him. No. If a man has a standard for himself, then so be it. The only time I have a problem with what men have to say is when they speak about control. Because I am sorry, I was not born into this world, and I definitely would die alone for any individual to feel like they can control me. That's the only time I have a problem with that. But to try to shame a woman, some of them were calling the woman Ashao because she said she wants her nigga to eat. Like, why not? You guys cannot even go without guac guac 3,000 and you expect women to just sit down open and take it. Learn to show your women love, honey, because if you ain't doing it, somebody else gonna do it. I tell you that much. I am going to hear a lot of things on the internet that fits what I love, and I'm like, thumbs up to you. And I'm gonna see a lot of things that are gonna be like, God damn, really? You thinking like that? And it is okay, But for me to say my standards is supposed to work for every individual, it's not gonna work. Everyone is going to move at the pace they want to move that works for their life. And half of the men even screaming and commenting in that comment will probably never even come across this particular woman. They say the woman is misleading. How is what she derives for her life or what she wants for her life affect your life? You're never going to come across her. She's thinking her own. And yes, and a lot of men say, why did she set the camera? But why not, honey? How you go find that man if you don't state what you like? And I promise you, there are men that could fit that criteria. Anywho, happy weekend. I'm thinking of cool and interesting topics to come up with. And remember, guys, you guys can always send me topics, okay? Let's have discussions. It is not a fight. We are all bantering. We are all learning. We are all just playing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And I love you guys. So chop this kiss right now.